Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me on my channel today. And today I am swatching my Distress Oxides. So I thought I would bring you along on this journey. I am using the By the Well for God Swatches of Love stamp set in order to swatch these. So on screen here, you see me with a piece of cardstock on my Tim Holtz mixed media mat, and I am going to just measure out how big the square is for my swatches, which is about 2 inches. And then I'm going to use my black VersaFine archival ink, very important, so I can go ahead and stamp these out. I'm using this archival ink so it doesn't mix with the colors that I'm going to stamp over it. I hope that makes sense. So I go ahead and stamp these out. These are perfect because within the stamp set, you have different types of elements. You can do lines or swatches, you can do hearts, you can do just a bold stamp or a bold block in the middle of this. And on the bottom of this, there's some spaces to add the color and the brand, and you'll see that further along. So I'm just stamping these out, and I go ahead and stamp out all of these little boxes. And now I'm going to just grab, because these are spaced out evenly, it's super easy for me just to put them down my trimmer and go ahead and cut these down into strips, and then I'll cut them with my scissors and finish that off. It's super convenient that these are 2 inches because you can easily fit these in a page protector that are 2x2 page protectors. And this is perfect to keep in a binder, excuse me, sorry, and have all your swatches together. So now I'm pulling out my tin of Distress Oxides. I promised myself that after I filled up this tin, I would not buy any more Distress Oxides. Well, let me tell you, I already have one more. So I'm going to have to buy another tin because I know I'll be buying more. And I just wanted to make sure I swatched these colors. So here you saw me pull off the Swatches of Love stamp set. They have 2 lines, one that's for the brand and one that's for the color. And you can definitely add the brand and the color on there. I decided just to put the brands because I know these are my Distress Oxides, and I'm going to be using a different middle section for the other ones. So I'm stamping out the hearts. As you can see, when I stamp this down, they're little hearts. So I'm using the hearts for Distress Oxides, and that's how I'll keep track of the brand. And then I just stamp out color in that empty space at the bottom of that. And I add the color down there. So far I have done spun sugar. I've done, this is fossilized amber. I also did carved pumpkin up there. And some people might ask, well, why do you need this? Well, let's say you are working on a kit, or you just got a new kit from By the Well for God or Creative Retreat or so on and so forth, and you want to pull the inks that match with your kit. And this is going to help you have those inks handy so you can store it all together. So throughout the month, you don't have to keep looking for different matching inks. I have already pulled out the ones that work the best. It's also a great way of you kind of put colors together and see what actually would be a great colorway if you're just doing a Bible journaling page. For example, I can see whether fossilized amber would look great with peacock feathers together. Just putting both of those little card swatches together, I can see what colors really work well together without swatching them every time on some paper. I hope that makes sense. So that is one of the reasons why I'm doing this. Also, this is a great way for me to see all of the colors that I have. So I am not buying extras. So I'm not buying similar colors. Also, so I can see what colors I'm missing within the color wheel. Like in between, I can say, I have lots of dark greens, but I don't have a light green, which is one of the things that I realized after swatching all of these colors. So that has really helped me to know what colors I'm missing and what I should pick up next time there's a good sale. Because I love picking these up on sale because they are not the cheapest. So here I am continuing to stamp these out. I kind of created like a rhythm. I'll have all my boxes already stamped out, which is my preferred way to do it. It just makes it easier. All of them are cut, stamped out. I go ahead and add color at the bottom. I ink up the little hearts. I then add the color. I'm using a permanent Sharpie pen to do that. And then wipe off my stamp and move on to the next color. You see me also pull that blue cloth because my baby wipe sometimes can be a little bit moist. I just pass a cloth washcloth over that to dry it up after I pass that baby wipe. I just want to make sure that I dry it because oxide colors are water reactive. So here I am just grabbing a break real quick because I have been working with this. This does take some time, but I promise you, I've done this before for my sprays, and I promise you this really helps you know what you have in your stash. So it saves time in the long run. So if you can throw on some worship music, maybe throw on a show, watch your favorite YouTuber, and just go to town. Start swatching your colors so you know what you have in your stash. It's a great way of organizing what you have so you can use what you have. And I'm a big fan of using up the colors that we have in our stash, or using up what we have in our stash. That way we're not, not misusing them. So as you can see over to the left, this swatches of colors, and I actually checked on the By the Well for God site, and this is not available, but I'm going to speak to Lori to see if this is something that will be restocked. But if you do have this stamp set, as you can see over on the left-hand side, there's triangles, there's squares, there's rectangles. So there are different, there's also the little crosses mark. So there are different ways that you can swatch these colors. And let's say you have a neo color and you want to swatch it in its darkest pigment form, and then also swatch right next to it but on the same card, the same color. You can swatch it in its lightest form. You can see the color grading. I hope that makes sense. So you can do that with watercolors. And all you have to do is stamp on watercolor paper with this stamp set, and then you can use this for watercolors as well. So it's very, very flexible. You can do a variety of things with this, and I love that. I love that this stamp set creates a variety of ways that you can swatch your colors. So here are at the end all of my colors. I have Festive Berry, Pine Needles, that's one of my faves, Aged Mahogany, Pumice Stone, Rustic Wilderness, Tumbled Glass, Picked Raspberry, Mustard Seed, Peacock Feathers, Blueprint Sketch, Spun Sugar, Carved Pumpkin, Tattered Rose, Victorian Velvet, one of my favorite colors, and Wilted Violet. I appreciate you so much for joining me here while I swatch my colors. Let me know below, what else would you like me to see swatch here in my craft room? I hope to do another video soon. Here's some extra swatch cards that I have that I can use later on. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless. Bye.